To get regular updates, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon.
Hello friends, I'm Dipali Shah from ExamBin, and in this lesson we are going to see about the Arctic Council. Before getting started, do not forget to subscribe to our channel to get the regular updates. So let's get started. The Arctic Council. It is an intergovernmental forum promoting the cooperation, coordination and interaction among the Arctic states, its indigenous community and on the common Arctic issues, in particular on issues of the sustainable development and environmental protection in the Arctic region. Background of the Arctic Council. The Arctic Council was founded on the initiative of the Government of Finland in September 1989, where officials from the 8 Arctic countries met in Rovaniemi in Finland to discuss the cooperative measures to protect the Arctic environment. The initiative resulted in numerous technical and scientific reports being prepared, culminating into the Arctic Environmental Protection Strategy in June 1991. It was a declaration on the protection of the Arctic environment. Through this cooperation, the Arctic Council was formed with the signing of the Ottawa Declaration on the 19th September 1996 in Ottawa, Canada. The major focus areas of the Arctic Council are the environment and the climate change, biodiversity, oceans, the indigenous Arctic people, and the participants of the Arctic Council. The participants of the Arctic Council are the governments of the 8 member states, the permanent participants PPS, working groups and observers. The members of the Arctic Council are the only states with the territory in the Arctic can be the members of the Council. All the 8 countries such as Canada, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Russia and the USA are the members, making the Arctic Council a circumpolar forum. The permanent participants. The 6 Arctic indigenous communities have the status of the permanent participants on the Council. These groups are represented by the Alert International Association, the Arctic Athabascan Council, Gwich'in Council International, the Indian Circumpolar Council, the Russian Association of the Indigenous People of the North, and the Sami Council. Working groups. The work of the Arctic Council is channeled through 6 working groups, which are as follows. Arctic Containment Action Program, which is also known as ACAP. It acts as a strengthening and supporting mechanism to encourage national actions to reduce emissions and other release of pollutants. Arctic Monitoring and the Assessment Program, AMAP. It monitors the Arctic environment, ecosystem and human population and also provides the scientific advice to support the government as they tackle pollution and adverse effect of the climate change. The Conservation of the Arctic Flora and Fauna Working Group, which is also known as CAFF. CAF addresses the conservation of the Arctic biodiversity and working to ensure the sustainability of the Arctic living resources. The Emergency Prevention, Preparedness and Response Working Group, which is also known as EPPR. The EPPR works to protect the Arctic environment from the threat or impact of an accidental release of pollutants or radionuclides. The Protection of the Arctic Marine Environment, PAME. The PAME working group is the focal point of the Arctic Council's activities related to the protection and sustainability use of the Arctic marine environment. The Sustainable Development Working Group, SDWG. The SDWG works to advance the sustainable development in the Arctic region and to improve the conditions of the Arctic communities as a whole. Observers in the Arctic Council. The observer status in the Arctic Council is granted to the non-Arctic states, intergovernmental and interparliamentary organizations and other global and regional non-governmental organizations. The observer country is invited to the meetings of the Council and observes the work and proceeding of the Council. In meetings, with the permission of the chair, the observers may make statements, submit relevant documents, and provide their perspective on various issues. There are currently 12 non-Arctic countries, 9 intergovernmental and interparliamentary organizations, 11 non-governmental organizations that have been granted the observer status. What are the criteria for selecting the observers? accept and support the objectives of the Arctic Council defined in the Ottawa Declaration. Recognize the Arctic states' sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction in the Arctic. Recognize that an extensive legal framework applies to the Arctic Ocean, including notably the law of the sea, and that this framework provides a solid foundation for responsible management of this ocean. Respect the values, interest, culture, and traditions of the Arctic indigenous people and other Arctic inhabitants. Have demonstrated a political willingness as well as the financial ability to contribute to the work of the permanent participants and other Arctic indigenous people. What is India's role in the Arctic Council? India was granted the observer status at the Kiruna ministerial meeting on May 15, 2013. In becoming an observer, India had to agree to the following criteria set by the Council: to recognize the sovereign rights of the Arctic states, to recognize that the law of the sea and the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea constitute the legal basis and the legal framework within which the Arctic will be managed, to respect the indigenous people, local cultures and traditions, to be able to contribute to the work of the Arctic Council. India has therefore officially recognized the territorial jurisdiction and the sovereign rights of the Arctic states. India has also accepted the UNCLOS as the governing instrument for the Arctic, implying that the jurisdiction over both the continental shelf and the maritime passage and the resources of the ocean will primarily lay within the 8 Arctic states. With this, we have come to the end of this session. Thank you for watching till the end. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel to get the regular updates. Thank you.